time. And check out the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Partly cloudy skies, breezy, a high of 60. Tonight, mostly cloudy, breezy, a few showers later on. Some wet snowflakes may be possible, a low of 38. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Like Joey Chestnut is getting $1 million to endorse Impossible Foods. Is Nathan's giving him $1 million? I believe I saw the number was $200,000.
If he wins.
The team that eats the most hot dogs in 10 minutes will be declared the winner. It's very important that you all try to eat as many hot dogs as you can. On your mark, get set, eat.
Kevin weighing in saying, Jen, please stop saying glizzy. I can't take it anymore.
Thank you.
Josh hates the word glizzy.
I am not big on it.
Where did it even come from?
Come on, the winner gets a big, big prize. No. I can't say. The winner gets regional manager salary for a year and a Sebring and the feeling that they are making a difference in the world.
Can we just take those first two things?
The winner of today gets my job.
You know what that is, Joshy?
I don't.
The throat goat.
R.I.P. Nancy Reagan.
I never knew that
with all
story,
due
which
respect.
we can't tell
With all
on the radio.
With all due
Cannot.
respect to the former First Lady.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Cham. Here's Jen Latta.
Running her mouth, she wants to ride it, she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like he wanna fight, he ain't doing nothing but running his mouth. Talk about it, we all about it. They making plans, we sit and count. Our chairs stacked just like a mountain. You heard about it, she running her mouth, she wants to ride it, she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like he wanna fight, he ain't doing nothing but running his mouth.
All fired up this morning. Lots of stuff to talk about. But I have decided I have a new enemy. A new foe. So you guys know that for a very, very long time, my number one power rankings enemy of the neighborhood has been the leaf blower. Goes back to COVID times.
Yeah.
I'd be home doing some hits for ESPN from the comfort of my office, like most people during COVID times. And my neighbors, they love their lawns. And they'd be out there with the leaf blower.
You live in the suburbs,
Yes.
Jen. This is one of those things
100%.
that you live in the suburbs, you got a suburban dad next to you, guess what he's going to love?
100%. They're all retirees. They got lots of time.
Is that the same person as don't put your poop in my trash bin?
No, that's different. That's in the back loop. That's far. No,
Okay.
this is right across the street. And the leaf blower, right? Over and over and over again. And the problem with the leaf blower is they're the electric ones, so they stay on. And then you hit the button when you want to blow, so you got the varying levels of the noises. So you got the regular, and then you got the... So I'd be doing my stuff, and the leaf blower would go, and I was like, it'll be over in a second, right? How long can it take to blow the leaves?
Again, you live in the suburbs. There's some pretty big properties
Turns
out there,
out
Jen.
hours of leaf blowing. So that's when it became my enemy number one. Public enemy number one, the leaf blower. Well, we got a new candidate, ladies and gentlemen. We got a brand new candidate to the enemy of the neighborhood. And it is this.
A helicopter?
I wish. It is the wood chipper. It is the wood chipper. So this weekend on Saturday, guys, we got our neighbor across the backside, right? We're lucky we have some woods behind our house, which I love. Privacy, and I love the wildlife. You see the deer out there. You see the turkeys out there. Occasionally a little coyote will zip its way through.
Less than ideal, but okay.
And they have started cutting down their woods on the backside. So what was 2 yards full of woods is now down to 1 yard of woods, ours. So I can see through to their house now, which is already awkward, but whatevs. But all day Saturday, wood chipping away. Had some friends over, kids were playing in the yard. Wood chipper was the soundtrack to our activities. So finally at about 5:30, I go, we got to get out of here. Right? Like this sound, as you listen to it right now. Like, and this is
soothing to Chewy.
Just so you know.
This is sound machine to Chewy. Chewy would fall asleep.
But this is just wood chipper on. This is not wood chipper engaged. Because you throw that stump in there It's a whole nother level of wood chipper. So anyway, I was like, let's just go to dinner. Let's get away from the house. Let's just go to dinner. We go to dinner. We come back 7:30, still wood chipping. So now it's starting to get dark.
Yeah.
We're wood chipping away. 8 o'clock, still wood chipping. We got kiddos trying to put them down for bed. And we are catching all of the sound. It is just coming right through the backside of the woods, right into our living room, right into our kitchen. We were doing the Ace Ventura thing with the door. Remember when he does the display?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, exactly. We were doing that just because it was so loud once you opened the back door. So we kept it closed and we could still hear it. Long story short, Dario's like, what do we do?
All right,
Well,
one
what would
question.
you do?
Question. Is this a service that is doing it? Is there the owners of the house that are doing it?
Yeah.
The owners of the house.
Correct.
Okay.
So
Keep going.
So first thing I did was I jumped over to Zillow. I was like, are these new neighbors? Are these new people? Sure enough, house sold end of September. So yes, newer people. So we don't know them. I don't know these people. So Dario goes, I'm going to call the cops. I go, you can't call the cops on the neighbors. He goes, but it's been going on for 6 hours nonstop. But there are noise ordinance rules. Like
Which
you have
change at night.
Yeah,
Yes.
but if during the day, like, I mean, if you got to clear that out, especially because, all over Wisconsin, there's a lot of dead ash trees, right? You had the boar ash and everything,
Yeah.
so you got to clear. A lot of times you have to clear a lot of that stuff out. Otherwise, it becomes a hazard to your property. So if they're picking a Saturday just to kind of clear it out, like, you're just kind of stuck. I mean, again, calling the cops is extreme, and I hope that's not the route you guys went. But
Well, Chew, what would you do?
What time did it go till? 9?
Well, at 8:30, Dario was like, I'm just going to drive over there. He's like, I'm going to
Yeah.
introduce myself. I'm going to say we're on the backside. I'm going to say we got some kiddos who we're trying to put down for bed. Their bedrooms are on the backside of the house. I mean, it is just reverbing through our house. We got no foliage right now. You got that bare trees, so everything is just pounding us. The wood chipper is just pounding our house. So he goes over there, and he says, "Hi, I'm your neighbor on the backside. Nice to meet you. Just curious, what time you guys thought you might wrap up the old wood chipping?" And the woman says, we assume at this point that they rented it. We assume it was rented for the day, so they're trying to maximize, their time. And she says, we just bought the house. I was like, we know. We looked it up on Zillow. And she says, our daughter wants to get married in our backyard this summer. So we're clearing all of the woods so we can have this backyard area. She says, I know it's late. I'll tell my husband. So as Dario's leaving, he sees the husband. He does the whole thing again. Hey, I'm your neighbor to the back. Bop-a-de-bop-a-de-bop. And the guy says, give me 5 more minutes. Dario says, okay. Gets in the car, comes home. He says, they're gonna 5 more minutes. I said, okay. Got the girls, their teeth are brushed. They're into bed. We're reading some books, doing all the things. How much longer do you think he went after the proposed 5-minute deadline?
45.
40 minutes later, that sucker shut off. At one point, we hit the spotlight, okay? After 20 more minutes of the thing, we hit the spotlight in our backyard that shines into the woods. I should have done Morse code, like 5 minutes my ass in dots and dashes. But what would you guys have done? I mean...
Payback.
yeah, Chewy would be plotting his revenge.
I would be out there at 6:30 and just have my lawnmower facing their property and then just leave the blade on. Oh, this bothers you? 5 more minutes. Just give me 5 more. Oh, yeah, that's payback.
I don't want to start out on the wrong foot with a neighbor that we share a property line with, you know? They're on the back
It
side
comes
of the...
back and forth.
Yeah. So, again, I don't know what the right thing to do was. It did not get us the result we wanted, which was for the, wood chipper to be off. So, yeah, I mean, 8:45, that thing finally went off on Saturday night.
I think you did the right thing.
Yeah.
Go over there, introduce yourself,
I agree.
talk about the situation. The fact that they didn't meet the 5 minutes thing, like, it feels like 8 p.m. is probably the time you should stop all of that. Because there are people going to bed at 8 p.m., be it due to work, be it
age,
correct, elderliness. I think you guys handled it the right way, and it's now on them. now they were being not good neighbors. 8:45 is crazy.
Did Dario tell him that you have little kids?
He did. Yep.
And they still didn't care? Yeah.
I don't think they didn't care. I think he said she was very nice, and she said, like, here's the situation. We got this wedding, da-da-da. My husband's always wanted a yard, so we have a yard. Our daughter wants to get married in the backyard, and, they're trying to clear, to your point, we got a lot of ash trees in our area, and, rather than have them fall, it's better to get rid of them. But I got to be honest, like, I'm watching my canopy, I'm watching the backyard, just, like, whittle down, right? If it used to be, again, I don't know, if it used to be 60 feet of woods between the back of our yard and the back of their yard, it's probably down to 20. Like, it's substantial. I can see through to their house now, and that makes me uncomfortable. So now I got to draw the curtains, when I'm showering and stuff.
Just put some arborvitaes in. They grow fast.
What's an arborvitae?
Chewy's favorite plant.
They grow about a foot a year if they get some good sun.
Are they pine trees?
They look like a pine tree. It's a soft, but they grow real fast and they give you very good cover.
Great privacy plants.
Great privacy, yes.
Okay, I kind of like that. So we're good though, right? We handled it the right way. We're good.
No,
there was no wood chipper on Sunday. Nothing. But
they were trying to get through. Like you said, I'm sure you, as somebody who wants to save as much money and make things as cost-effective as possible, I'm sure there's a part of you that appreciated them trying to get as much done as they possibly could so it would cost them as the least amount of money possible because, who actually owns a wood chipper unless you own that type of company? If you're a tree removal company, my guess is you had to rent that thing.
If you had to power rank the lawn tools, Chew, and I know you're a big fan of the mower and whatnot, but on the scale of annoyance...
Chainsaw.
Really?
Oh, yeah. 1.
Okay, then?
It's just back and forth, Yeah, chainsaws are very...
Okay. Then, is the leaf blower in your top 5?
If it's... No, it's
Depends
not. 'Cause I
upon the
love
time
my
of
leaf
year.
blower. I use the thing probably every day.
The leaf
I
blower?
love my leaf blower.
You're leaf blowing daily?
Yes.
He's got time.
But I will tell you this, if you're leaf blowing daily, it's quick, right? Theoretically, it's
15 minutes.
Yes,
Tops.
thank you. Fine. No
15
issues.
minutes
Again,
tops.
I understand that lawns require maintenance. I get that.
Well, all right,
It's
let
when
me
it
ask
goes
you this.
on and on and on and on.
On a Saturday, what is acceptable the earliest time you should be able to cut your grass?
I gotta say 8.
Yeah. 7:38.
8 o'clock?
7:38.
7:30?
No.
That's early.
You're allowed to cut it as soon as the city ordinance says you are.
Which is what?
Yes.
Because, by the way, we looked that up on Saturday night as well, just to see what the
What
rules.
did you find out?
8 p.m. was the
Yeah.
noise ordinance when you had
So
to,
they were
like,
past it.
Yeah. That's when we felt like, okay, now we are well within
Yes.
our rights to say something. Now we're not just a bunch of busybodies.
Yeah, no, you did the right thing. That was... I'd still go with the payback, though.
Well, so I got a lot of people weighing in on the Carbless Talk and text line saying, what is the date of that wedding again? Guess who's mowing their lawn that day? You guys. I did
See,
ask.
Gabe doesn't have that in him. Gabe, you don't.
That's way too extreme. Like, okay, so what? You got inconvenienced for 45 minutes on a Saturday night. You're going to ruin someone's wedding day.
But again, this
ruin someone's wedding day.
Started at 1 in the afternoon.
So
I'm just saying, it wasn't 45 minutes of inconvenience.
But between 1 and 8, he's allowed to do that. Between 1 and 8, he's allowed to do that. So you got nothing to complain about until 8:01.
Let me ask you this then. Any obligation, or maybe not obligation, but any idea that you just let the neighbors know, you give them a little heads up, like, hey guys, we're going to be dropping trees, we're going to be wood chipping all afternoon on Saturday, just wanted to give you a heads up. Just, like friendly, neighborly courtesy.
I mean, how many people you got to give a heads up to? You gonna knocking door to door like Paul Revere? You don't have your number.
The surrounding
hop
homes.
on the horse and start yelling through the neighborhood.
I would have taken a red lamp off the side of the house, okay? I would have taken something like that. Let's go out to the phone lines, 800-990-3776. Randy in a dump truck. You're on with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Yeah, I got a neighbor like that and payback. Made the mistake of saying their daughter wants to get married in the backyard. Be vengeful, get them back, Don't be like Gabe and be a Karen and be Mr. Nice Guy. On that day, fire up chainsaws, anything you got, and make their life a living hell. But that's just me. That's just who I am.
Well, no, I mean,
and I
come
cut
on.
my grass at 6:30 in the morning.
Wait, you're the a-hole.
Yeah.
You're the problem.
You're on both sides.
Yeah.
You're the chipper.
You can't just do whatever you want and go, oh, hey, I'm going to ruin somebody else's wedding now.
Yes, I can. I pay taxes. It's
So
my
do
house,
they.
my
So
life,
do they pay
my
taxes too.
compound.
They pay. Your neighbors don't pay taxes?
Yeah, I don't care about my neighbors. They inconvenienced me. Hey, what can I say?
It seems
It's
like-
just
it
me. I'm
seems
that
like-
kind of neighbor.
Well, but it seems like you're inconveniencing them every time you fire up the lawnmower at 6:30 a.m.
I
pal.
don't think Randy's allowed to use the words kind and neighbor in the same sentence anymore. I think you lost that privilege. Alex weighing
I
in
get to
saying,
do. Come on, Randy. You can't be. I get to do whatever I want, but you have to follow
It
whatever
did
my
fall
rules
apart
are.
there on him.
That's no. You can't go. I can do whatever I want, but everybody else has to do what I want as well.
Alex in the 920 weighing in saying, usually a piece of equipment like that is a weekend rental at that point. Most places require to be returned by 8 p.m., so they probably had already paid for the next day anyway, could have finished on Sunday. Thoughts?
Or he could have moved it up from 1 to 8. He should have went probably 9 till whatever the math is.
What would you have preferred? 45 minutes there, or shut it down at 8, only to have them fire it up again?
Yeah,
the next
I got to
day?
be honest. Like once it went off on Saturday,
Yeah.
I didn't want to hear it again, right?
Yeah.
So Sunday would have been
Yeah.
It
that
would have been
would have
worse.
ruined the day.
Probably worse, right? Even if it was just for 45 minutes.
I got a lot of people out here saying, you got to find out the date of that wedding and you got to have a party in the backyard. You know, like I had people who, I told a girlfriend of mine this, she goes, well, it sounds like you should rent a couple of those blow up bounce houses and throw them in the backyard for the kids that day.
Especially
Either-
now, since your backyard is more visible. There are ways to not really go out of your way and run a lawnmower next to their wedding, but you could
Or
put
you
something
could-
in the back
Again,
there.
Jen.
it's not the couple's fault, all right? You don't need to take your frustrations out on a neutral third party that had nothing to do with this.
You could spread some Milorganite the morning of the wedding.
That's stinky fertilizer, right? I just
Smells
wanna
like
make sure
juice.
we're-
Yeah.
That is made of poo.
Well, you know me and Doo-Doo. We've got a love-hate relationship. Jen, you better be getting an invite to that wedding. That's all I'm going to say. That from Ronnie in the 262. If not, let the neighbor wars begin. I'm not going to start a war with a neighbor. It was more of just like
I got a funny feeling a lot of people on the talk and text line are talking tougher than they actually are.
power wash the house on the wedding day. That's loud and annoying and time consuming. I would put the power washer on there. That's another one that has an
That's
idle
annoying.
sound,
Yeah.
and then when you throttle it up, it goes to that next level sound. So for me, we got leaf blower on there. We got the wood chipper on there. I'll throw power washer on there. Chewy's got the chainsaw on there. What are some other sounds of the neighborhood that just irk you? Get you. And again, we're not talking about short little stints. We're talking about prolonged use of the power tool, which was what was happening at our house on Saturday. Again, had a friend over, started around 1 o'clock, maybe 1:30-ish. I don't know. I just remember all of a sudden being like, what is that noise? And then looking over and going, oh, yeah, it's just some wood chipping, okay. And then at 8:45, finally, mercy, it went off.
I think any type of heavy sawing, an air compressor, if it for whatever reason is being used a lot,
Yeah.
that running and filling the tank as it's actively being used, that noise can drive someone nuts too. It feels like that's really the lawnmower, leaf blower are the leaders of the clubhouse.
Well, because
here.
those are also going to be
Sustained.
Yeah, and used.
But I
more
also
often.
think there is something, guys, about the up and down, right? There's, to your point about the wood chipper sound that Joshy was playing earlier, that's pretty, it was like white noise at some point. But it's the up and the down and the unpredictability of it. Guys, I could feel my anxiety just like climbing by the minute. right? And we're trying to get the girls down for bed, and they're like, what are we going to do here, Mom? Like, the windows are rattling at this point. Ben weighing in saying, no need to rent a bounce house. I have 3. One is a giant water slide. They're yours the day of the wedding. Look at our loyal listeners coming to my defense, wanting to help out with this one. 800-990-3776. Keep getting us your reaction. And we are power ranking those power tools in the yard. We'll probably put it on the Jen, Gabe, and Chewy Twitter poll. What's the worst offender? What's the one that just drives you crazy when the neighbor fires it up? Let us know. So much stuff to get to this morning. You probably caught the end of the Masters. We'll talk about that. Bucks win again. Did anybody see what Pat Connaughton's final line was in that game? Woo, doggy. And we are under 2 weeks to the NFL draft. We will continue breaking down the types of players the Packers typically pick when it comes to the NFL draft. Stick around. Jen, Gabe, and Chewy rolls on.
Exciting day here as well. Your state, your teams, your ESPN. Today launching the brand new ESPN Wisconsin app. If you already had the Wisconsin On Demand app, if you have an Apple phone, it will update. Make sure you update it if you have an Android phone. And if you don't have the app, look, it's going to be super simple, super easy way to kind of, listen to all your favorite shows. Listen live. So download the app today. And if you do, you have a chance to win an all-exclusive private tailgating experience during day 3 of the draft in Green Bay. Open the ESPN Wisconsin app, check out the contests tab, which is toward the bottom, and register for your chance to win today. Again, all you have to do is download the new ESPN Wisconsin app.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Things are moving along a little bit slowly out there. Eastbound 94 got backups from 92nd Street all the way into the Marquette, where you will find an accident on the ramp to get onto 43 northbound. Left lane is blocked, so careful with that. We've got another accident on northbound 43, the Rock Freeway, heading on to 894 northbound in the Hale. The right lane is blocked with that one. Beyond that, more delays continue all the way out to Forest Home. Traffic is brought to you by James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner, dedicated to helping businesses do business better. Visit jamesimaging.com. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, partly cloudy skies, breezy, a high of 60. Tonight, mostly cloudy, breezy, a few showers later on. Some wet snowflakes are possible, a low of 38. This Easter, Tsunami Express Car Wash is hopping into savings. Get 50% off all washes from April 14th to the 19th, whether it's a quick clean or a top-to-bottom shine. Plus, an unlimited wash membership makes a perfect Easter gift. Visit Tsunami Express. 50% off all washes, April 14th to the 19th. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazagon, 94.5 ESPN.
The best source for every piece of NFL news you need to know.
That's the idea of a deal. Each side gets wins, right? They have Jordan Love under contract for the next 5 years.
ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter is on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy every Wednesday morning at 7:30. Sponsored by Island Resort and Casino.
I think Packers fans would sign up for 12-5 today, and maybe they will be.
Right here on 94.5 ESPN, and also streaming live on the Wisconsin On Demand app and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
April Brewers action rounds out with the matchup against the Tigers and Athletics. Catch the series opener April 14th as the first 10,000 fans get a Brewers t-shirt designed by Unfinished Legacy. Then get Brewers collectibles at back-to-back games against the Athletics. First up, Peanuts Night on April 18th, featuring a Franklin Bobble with special tickets. And don't miss a Brewers football jersey for the first 25,000 fans April 19th. Get set for an action-packed April at Brewers.com.
So many of our youth carry unimaginable burdens. Anger, depression, even thoughts of suicide. At Rawhide Youth Services, we recognize their pain. We help them find hope and healing. For those that need a second chance at life, we refuse to give up on them. Please be a part of our life-saving work. When you donate your used vehicle to Rawhide, you're helping change the lives of countless youth in our communities. Go to rawhide.org/donate and help them realize a brighter future today.
Evan Cohen here. Picking a place to build a life is a lot like selecting a draft pick. Make a decision that will set you up for long-term success. Pick Wisconsin. In Wisconsin, you'll find dynamic career opportunities, beautiful seasons, affordable living, and legendary weekends. From its high quality of life and great schools to its fine arts, culinary, and pro sports scenes, Wisconsin gives you so much to look forward to. That's why you should pick Wisconsin. Learn more about making Wisconsin your home. Visit pickwisconsin.com.
The sports calendar is heating up, and with ESPN Bet Sportsbook, you can go from checking news to stats to placing bets in a couple of taps. Stream games, bet live, and get exclusive offers when you link your ESPN account. Right now, you can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Panic strikes as you realize on Wednesday that Thursday is your anniversary. The reservations being secured.
We'll see you at 8.
The gift being purchased. Yeah, you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with early pay up to 2 days early on direct deposits. So even though they call you Last Minute Lisa, we'll make your last minute scrambling a bit easier. You've got this with early pay from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
It's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
How are you feeling, big guy, about the MRI?
It's starting to hurt now. I think I have mental issues. I really do.
Well,
gonna have to clip that for me.
That's just, I mean,
just hold on to it.
I know. I don't think there's anything wrong. It's just I think it's something in my brain's telling me
something is wrong, buddy.
On 94.5 ESPN.
I'm not saying it was your fault, although you could have done more. Oh, you're so naive, yes, so.
Lots of reaction rolling in on the Carbless Talking text line this morning. Again, I'm not saying get off my lawn. I'm saying after 6-7 hours of the wood chipper, it was really starting to I could feel my anxiety climbing with each additional moment. And then, of course, we looked. The noise ordinance ended at 8 o'clock. That's when you have to cease all, I don't even know what the verbiage is, but just loud noises. And once we got past that, it was okay. And then it was the 5-minute thing, right? Give me 5 more minutes. Okay, great. 5 more minutes. No problem. We got the kids in bed. We're waiting. And then it was 40 minutes later. That to me seemed excessive.
But also, when's the last time anyone that you know has said, hey, 5 minutes? And it actually meant 5 minutes.
This is an excellent question. Guys, Chew. Yes. Not even, yes. But how many minutes do you give when someone says 5 minutes, right? Chewy, what's your threshold?
15.
Yeah.
15's fair.
15 seems fair.
45 is, I really don't care what you're saying.
45
tell me what to do.
Is excessive. But the second somebody tells you 5 minutes, whether it's your kid asking for 5 more minutes before they go to bed, 5 more minutes at their house, your wife telling you, hey, I'll be ready in 5 minutes, all these different things. Anytime, so many situations, somebody says 5 minutes.
That felt targeted. You ever tell somebody you're 5 minutes away and you look at the GPS and it's 12?
5 minutes away? You haven't even left your... If you text me I'm 5 minutes away, I know you haven't left your house.
Well, I did it yesterday. Angie had an interview at 3:30, so I went with Angry to this beach place that we love going to, and she's like, where are you at? I'm like, just left. We're on our way. Yeah. Kind of a white lie.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a phrase that has gotten more people in trouble than the 5 minutes? I'll be there in 5, it'll be 5 more, because it's almost never 5 minutes.
I'm 5 away.
Yeah. And you're... I imagine there's a lot of males and females out there whose partner have gotten mad at them because the word 5 minutes was used, and an hour later you come rolling through the door.
So again, I'm wondering, just from a social moray standpoint, when someone says, I'm 5 out, what do you give them before you're okay, liar, pants on fire? You know what I mean? Are we all saying 15? Is that our general? We're saying if you say 5 minutes out and you show up 15, we look at you side-eye, but it's fine. We get it.
Yeah, it all depends. I have a friend that my wife and another friend will bet. Anytime this friend's coming over to the house, they have over-unders. They literally bet $1 to $5 on when she's actually going to be walking through the front door of wherever we're at. Because it's just just leave it now. Oh, I'll be there in 5 minutes. All right, she said 5 minutes. How long is it actually going to be?
And how long is it typically? 20?
Closer to a half hour.
Yeah, I'd say closer to half hour.
A mutual friend, Gabe?
Yeah.
When me and Angie are getting ready to go out somewhere, and she takes a lot longer than I do, I said, tell me when you're 7 minutes out.
Okay.
So when she's 7 minutes from being ready I can shower, do all my stuff in those 7 minutes.
I was about to say, what's the significance of the 7 minutes? What are you multiplying? But again, like Josh said, it works the other way around. You're out at the bar with your pals, you get a text, hey, when you're coming home, hey, I'm just finishing up this drink. It'll be 5 more minutes.
Yeah.
In reality, the drink had just arrived. It is a full drink, and you are not leaving in 5 minutes.
5 minutes goes fast when you're having a good time.
But I think we're also seeing that the range of 5 minutes is large, right?
Again, it depends upon the person.
If someone says 5 minutes, is there anyone who is ever actually 5 minutes out? Is there anyone in the history of the world? And maybe somebody out there will say, I do. I'm very honest. If I say I'm 5 minutes away, I am actually 5 minutes away.
Everybody's told that lie.
800-990-3776. Let's go out to the
if you
phone
haven't
lines.
told that lie, I don't know if I can trust you.
Dan in Slinger, you're on with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Good morning, Dan.
Good morning. How are you guys?
Good.
Doing good.
Say, I live out in the country, and a lot of times those county workers or those orange Splendor trucks are cutting tree branches from power lines, and most of the time they start at 8 in the morning, and there's sometimes I've seen them go till 5:30 at night. And a lot of times we have these weekend warriors where, they work 10, 12 hours during the week, and they're trying to find a day to rent their equipment and find out that the rental thing that you're looking for has been rented twice. And they're waiting for the first guy to return the thing by noon. Then you pick it up at 1, and then you're trying to beat the light or get all your work done because you're trying to deal with weather issues and all this kind of stuff, and you're planning. And, I agree. It should have been done by 7,
Mm-hmm.
But that's just I kind of tend to agree with Gabe for the most part. I mean, it's one day of the year. I mean, maybe we got to show some grace.
Absolutely. 100%. Which
Yeah,
is
but
why,
little kids
which is why
throw
we
a
didn't call the
different-
cops on the neighbors, guys. Like,
again.
and this was like, we're having a conversation. Like, what do we do? And how much longer before we go over there, right? And so we looked up the ordinance, and it's 8 p.m. Okay, so we waited till after 8 p.m. thinking again, like, probably aware that it's a noise ordinance at 8 p.m. He's gonna wrap things up, but at 8:15, finally, Dar's like, I'm just gonna drive over. I'm just gonna drive over there. I'm just gonna introduce myself, and I think it went about as well as it could go. But Chewy, I think it was better for him to handle it than me, because at that point, even though I would have been hopeful that I would handle it gracefully, that doesn't come naturally to me. And my anxiety was climbing by the minute. I know I've said that already, but like I could just feel myself getting more and more frustrated every minute it went on. And it was mostly because we're at bedtime, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm trying to get these girls down for bed. They're all riled up, and now they can feel that I'm riled up. So it was just, just trying to like put a cap on it, put a lid on it.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. And I'm someone that doesn't like to be told what to do on my property, but I think when you put kids into it, because, I've had kids when they were little, and it's tough to get them into bed, especially when there's a chipper going on next door.
You don't like to be told what to do anywhere you go, much less your property.
Well, I'll give you an example. The fence.
Yeah.
We put the fence in this week with the neighbor, right? So me and Angie are out. I got a guy putting the fence together, just extending it all the way it needs to go. And
should have called
Angie
your guy,
gets
Josh.
a text.
Josh should have come down and done it.
So now
Oh,
he's
I didn't even think
outsourcing
of that.
all of his things. He's got your dad coming down to do the lights.
electric.
He's got Joshy coming
Joshy's
down.
a fence guy now.
Put fences
So-
in.
Then he texts Angie at about 3 o'clock, and me and Angie are downtown with friends having fun. And it says, there's an issue with the fence. If you could, no, there's no issue. Don't tell me what to do on my property. Okay, we didn't even respond to him because this guy loves to tell us what to do with our property, and we're like, now we get the cold shoulder. Which, thank you, I would have done this weeks ago if I got the cold shoulder.
Can you imagine
Chewy's
Chewy?
just trying to fight with all his neighbors so he doesn't have to talk to them.
Chewy, I hope at some point you move to a place that has an HOA. Like, I just want to hear your battles with.
I do. I have one.
Oh, really?
At the big house, yeah,
Oh,
that's
really?
an HOA. They told me I couldn't paint my house when we first built it the color I did, and I laughed at them. I'm like, okay. And then it spilled over to the neighbor because the neighbor's like, well, why? How did you do that? I'm like, I painted my house. I don't give a crap what they say. because he wanted to paint his kind of a crazy color, which I said, just do it. What are they going to do?
I just imagine like the president of the HOA coming over, feebly knocking on Chewy's door,
Yeah.
trying to tell him what to do.
Folks weighing in on the Carbless Talking text line this morning. Ben in the 414 says, "Hey, happy 414 day, by the way, everybody. Here's one for you, Jen. Our garbage is picked up on Friday. Everyone knows how loud waste management garbage trucks are. Every week they come between 5 and 5:15 a.m. Woof. Woof.
I think that's when you just have to suck up.
That's
you're going to look the garbage people in the face and be like, hey, please stop doing this so early, even though you're going to be working 12 hours and picking up all
Yeah,
this trash.
that's not going to go over well.
Have fun.
It's just It's just unlucky. It's unlucky that's where you are on the route. You know, like somebody's got to be the first house in the morning.
There's a lot of trash out there, right? It's not going to pick up itself.
Well, I told you guys the one time I mouthed off on the radio to the town guy when I thought he was putting too much sand on the roads and stuff. Mm-hmm. And he put a dump truck of sand right in front of my driveway. I'm like, okay, not doing that again.
Message received.
Lesson learned.
Yes.
Can't fight City Hall, Chew.
800-990-3776. Let's go out to Brian in Lake Mills. Brian, good morning. You're on with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Hey, good morning. A couple of quick questions. Does the noise ordinance extend later into the evening for Friday, Saturday with the weekend? Should you expect a "we're sorry" gift coming in the next couple of days? And then won't their wedding last past 8 o'clock? So could you play that card as well, too?
Couple of things. Yes, the ordinance goes a little bit longer on the weekends. What was the second question?
The wedding. Yeah.
The second
wedding was
one
the third one.
the sorry
gift
for the
basket.
noise gift.
Yeah, no, I don't expect that. No, I don't think that's necessary.
Especially since Dario approached it the correct way and introduced self, said, hey, we've got kids over here. How long can we expect? A bottle of wine with a bow. Thank you for dealing with us. We apologize. I think that would be a real classy touch.
Invitation to the wedding?
That's a little.
See, whenever we have a rager, wherever, we always invite all the neighbors.
Well, that's how you get yourself into trouble. Then you've got this bloated list that you're angry about the time that once the party rolls around.
And a wedding's different.
Yeah, like a wedding isn't the weekend rager.
Can you imagine me just like traipsing through the woods and like popping out like, hey neighbor, happy wedding day. I remember when you were preparing for this. God, it looks so different. This is amazing. No, I would never. But I don't expect a gift either. Again, I think it went about as well as it could go.
Yeah.
Right? I think but again, I'm just saying that we sat there and we went through the options. Like, what are our options for managing this situation? And of course, neighbors get tricky. You just never know, like, who's going to take what personally. You never know what's going to get under people's skins. You know, how would they know that the wood chipper until 8:45 would bother me? I wouldn't know that, you know. And so again, I appreciate people who've said give it a little grace. I think we did. I think we gave it grace. I think we handled it, and it turned out a pretty good little
I think
situation.
the only misstep is them going later than they said. And I understand that you're caught in a weird spot, but there are other ways to dispose of wood than the wood chipper. If you have to go through it, hey, we ran this for 6 hours. It's now nearly 9 p.m. We can cut it off. Like, there has to be some kind of, neighborly understanding there, I think.
All right.
Get yourself an axe.
Yeah.
A little bit of elbow grease. Start going to town.
All right.
Hey, have some fires in the backyard.
Yeah,
then.
right?
You'll be fine.
Paul Bunyan over here in his blue ox are trying to knock out the woods. We'll take a break on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Still a lot of stuff to get to this morning. I am absolutely interested in Gabe's take on what went down at the Masters yesterday. I thought Rory was going to choke it away. I even texted
He
the
did
guys,
like 3 times.
choking, and then he ended up winning the green jacket. We'll talk about that right after this on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. But before we do, guys, your state, your teams, your ESPN. It's the brand new ESPN Wisconsin app. It's a customizable homepage. It's easier and it's quicker live listening. It's all your shows at the touch of a fingertip. The ESPN Wisconsin app, is available in Apple and Android app stores right now. I actually downloaded it last night, gave it a little scroll through. Very user-friendly. Your state, your teams, your ESPN. Download the new ESPN Wisconsin app today, right now.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Things are moving along a little bit slowly out there. Eastbound 94 got backups from 92nd Street all the way into the Marquette, where you will find an accident on the ramp to get onto 43 northbound. Left lane is blocked, so careful with that. We've got another accident on northbound 43, the Rock Freeway, heading onto 894 northbound in the Hale. The right lane is blocked with that one. Beyond that, more delays continue all the way out to Forest Home. Traffic is brought to you by James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner, dedicated to helping businesses do business better. Visit jamesimaging.com. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, partly cloudy skies, breezy, a high of 60. Tonight, mostly cloudy, breezy, a few showers later on. Some wet snowflakes are possible, a low of 38. This Easter, Tsunami Express Car Wash is hopping into savings. Get 50% off all washes from April 14th to the 19th, whether it's a quick clean or a top-to-bottom shine. Plus, an unlimited wash membership makes a perfect Easter gift. Visit Tsunami Express. 50% off all washes, April 14th to the 19th. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lozigan, 94.5 ESPN.
Waterway Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. This April, prepare for an exciting quest to $300,000 in the Enchanted Spin Slot Tournament. Just conjure your rewards card and play slots to earn drawing entries. Each Thursday, 60 winners will compete for thousands in cash and prizes. Let your journey begin with Enchanted Spins, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Robinhood Gold members can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on retirement contributions. A very handsome reward indeed. With Robinhood Gold, your annual IRA contributions are boosted by 3%. Plus, you also get 4% APY on your cash and non-retirement accounts. That's over 8 times the national savings average. The perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive a 3% IRA boost on annual contributions, sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. Rates subject to change. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold at $5 a month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to Robinhood.com/boost. Over 8 times the national average savings account interest rate claim is based on data from the FDIC as of November 18th, 2024. Robinhood Financial LLC member SIPC Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Hey, it's Kyle Wallace. Right now, buy 2 windows, get 2 free. No limit. Pay no interest until 2030, plus $500 off your home improvement project. Restrictions apply. Call 414-410-2000.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
For general contest rules, visit ESPNWisconsinContest.com.
Looking to transform your home with stylish furniture and home accessories without breaking the bank? At your local IKEA in Oak Creek, they believe everyone deserves a beautiful and affordable living experience that enhances your everyday life. From comfortable and fashionable sofas and sectionals, to kitchens full of inspiration, to bedrooms designed to help you find your best sleep and relaxation, IKEA's home furnishing combines form and function to fit any lifestyle and budget. Visit IKEA Oak Creek today or explore their collection online at ikea.com/US.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just for you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
I feel so stuck.
The Veterans Crisis Line is here for you. Dial 988, then press 1 to call.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Jen, has college football gotten a little sleazy? Where you can recruit
a little?
No, I'm saying from the standpoint, it used to be. That was good.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Rory McIlroy is your big winner from the Masters this weekend, although boy, oh boy, did he try to give it away several times on Sunday. Gabe, what was your reaction to the weekend for Rory? Just the weekend as a whole, right? Like,
I mean, well, Saturday was fantastic, going into Augusta with a 2-shot lead. But given his history in major championships over the last 10-plus years, you knew it wasn't going to be easy. I didn't think it was going to be that, where, again, he right away, just double bogey, gives up the lead. Now he's trailing after 2 holes. Suddenly he's back up, builds it a 4-stroke lead, hits quite possibly one of the worst shots I have ever seen a professional hit in that situation, when he rinsed his wedge and hit it into the water on 13, and followed it up with one of quite possibly the best shots I've ever seen, just roping a draw into the par 5 15th. Like, he had different combinations of best shots and worst shots that I think I've ever seen. It's such a roller coaster ride over the course of 18 and then 19 holes because they went to a playoff. It was as exciting and as exhilarating of a Masters in quite some time.
Chew, were you locked in?
Yeah, I was fine. Of course, it was a little too easy. There are too many chip-ins. I don't want to see chip-ins. Everyone's chipping in. Chip, 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 chip. I want to see pain. There wasn't enough pain.
What do you mean there wasn't enough pain?
No,
I wanted
so
more
much pain.
What do you mean?
Rory delivered all of the pain.
I know,
to.
but the fact that he was choky and good.
Bryson had some pain.
Did the other guys
Bryson
choke?
took the lead on hole 2, and then, it's choking, not pain? I don't know.
Also, the
Bryson
pain
shot 75.
The pain happens on the green. Once you're on the green, that's where people are missing 3-4 footers and are being forced into bogey putts or more.
Except for Justin Ross, right? Rose. God damn it, Jen.
You got Chase Ross.
There we go.
I know a Justin Ross. That's why immediately my brain went into that. As soon as I said it, I was like, could we not talk about that kid? Rose, yes. That. What was his shot? Was it on 18, Gabe? Was it his putt shot on 18?
His putt on 18.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But then, Gabe, when did they go from in sudden death going from 18, because they used to start at 10?
No, it's always
9 or 10.
It's always started on 18, and then they go to 10 if it's a tie after 18, which is, I mean, a lot of people remember Bubba Watson's shot where he just, hooded and hooked a wedge from trouble on 10. So they alternate. They start on 18,
like that.
And then they go to 10, and then back to 18, and then back to 10. They just kind of play that loop until they get a winner.
I think it was an advantage for Rory because he had just finished playing the hole, played it pretty well.
No, he didn't. He just made bogey to lose.
Bogeyed. He bogeyed the tie.
What do you mean he played
It's so interesting that you say that, because Dario and I were debating that exact point, Chew, is who has the advantage right now. Rory is coming off of that hole where he did not play very well. He choked away the championship. He could have won it right there if he had been able to just lock it up on the 18th hole. And you've got Rose over there, who is now, was he at the driving range? Was he at the putting range? Where did he?
Yeah, he was doing,
They had to golf cart him from it seemed like Tuscaloosa to get over there. Where, Gabe, you know the layout of the land.
Yeah,
where the heck was he?
Yeah, he was on the championship range, and then he was hitting some putts, just trying to stay loose because he had finished so far ahead, and he was just trying to do whatever he could to stay loose. So then he's got to go from that all the way. I mean, 18 is nearly a 500-yard hole.
So is that a disadvantage then? Because, again, results notwithstanding, who was in a better position? I felt like Rory, from a mental standpoint, he's just coming off of that hole. Now, Dario said, well, but it's a do-over. He gets a do-over on a hole he didn't do very well. He said the second time you play a hole, he's like, you oftentimes play it better.
Well, but you got to restart. You had a putt to win the Masters. At no point did Justin Rose have a putt to win the Masters. Rory did. And having that, and then, I mean, he had to go to scoring, had to do all that sort of stuff. And while that's going on, Rose is getting loose. Justin Rose took a swing more recently than Rory McIlroy did by the time they went back and played the hole.
Yeah.
Gabe, who sets up the sudden death rules? Because it seems to be different for every tournament they play.
It is. So,
who sets that?
So it's the Masters. They set their own rules. Everything else.
Every rule is their rule.
Yeah. Everybody else does an aggregate. Now it's 3 holes everywhere. U.S. Open used to be 18-hole playoff, and they would play it on Monday. Now they just do 3 or 4 holes. Everybody does a 3 or 4 hole aggregate. The problem with the Masters is, it's so early in the season, it has to be sudden death.
Yeah.
Because if they do 3 or 4 holes, you're going to run out of daylight, especially if they're tied after 3 or 4 holes. You're just fighting daylight at that point.
I think the real advantage there is just Rory's a better golfer. That's if we want to talk about advantages, we've got one
He's
guy,
the better player.
Yeah, who hits the ball a mile and pulled off some of the most incredible shots we've seen in a long time at that course.
Well, and that was the difference in the playoff, wasn't it?
Yes.
Just his shot got 4 feet from the pin or something like that.
He had a great wedge shot, but he also had pretty much the
Biffed
same
it,
distance in regulation, and he threw it in the bunker.
And I mean, they've all played that course so much. They've played it 4 times now on the weekend. Some of them 5, 6 times, based on how much they're practicing and their routine is. Like you saw as we were coming down the stretch there, you saw. I mean, it was most noticeable with Rory because some of it was like double bogey, par, and then birdie. Like he had gone every which way on these holes, and it just depended on which version of him showed up that specific hole.
And then, Gabe, one other question. That was not a Sunday pin on 16.
It was not. So they put it back.
What is that all about?
They put it back right in the honor of, that's where it was 50 years ago when Jack Nicklaus won. So they did it to honor Jack.
Oh, okay. I didn't like that.
Yeah,
I like it down below,
I kind of figured that that's what they were going to do because it wasn't the typical Sunday location, but he was pretty close to what the Sunday location was on Thursday. And once they did that, I kind of figured it was going to be someplace else.
I'm also fairly certain they articulated that immediately after when they showed it on the broadcast, too. I definitely saw them talking about
they had a whole vignette
there.
about it.
The whole
yards.
vignette. No big deal.
Listening is not my strong suit. I will fully admit that.
Hand in the air.
Clean on that one.
Yeah, hey, look, good on Chewy for admitting his flaws, like tip of the cap to the big guy.
I just love that this morning we're talking about it, and Chewy's like, way too easy. Too easy. The course was too easy. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't know. It presented, it did what it was supposed to do, which was there was Sunday drama. And that's what we always want from the Masters. We want there to be a race to the finish. You want there to be guys in contention. I don't like somebody running away with it.
I don't either.
Boring.
Yeah.
Gabe,
but I like it around 2, 3, 4 under.
Yeah, I mean, you're just at the wrong tournament.
So, like when's the last time the Masters was that? Never in my lifetime.
I'm just telling you what I want.
You're looking for a different
Throw the rough out.
They don't really have rough there. And first of all, at Augusta, it's a second cut.
Yes.
Fans are patrons.
Used it right.
It's front.
Like my buddy
first
who
nine,
went there,
second
Gabe.
nine.
My buddy who went there for the first time's like, it's easy other than the greens. That's what he said. I believe him.
But there's no flat lie either, Chew, out there. Like, there's nothing flat. So everything's above your feet, below the feet, on an upslope, on a downslope. Like, there's no
famously
flat
grueling,
line.
like the walk.
Yeah, that too. A lot of ups and downs.
It's just like, Gabe, you'd have the best answer to this. When was the last time a major delivered in that way via star power and dramatics?
I mean, Tiger winning in 19 was different because it wasn't as dramatic by the end.
Right.
Because Tiger on 18 had a 2-shot lead. You just needed to make a bogey. But, I mean, the lead up to that, there was a lot of star power, but you didn't have that at the end. I mean, Sergio won that in a playoff in 17. Probably, but even by the time they got to 18, when Phil won the PGA in 21, him and Brooks going back and forth, but that was over by the time they got to 18. I mean, it's been a while since we've had a major with that much drama and that much on the line when you have someone on 18.
Yeah, it felt like it delivered all weekend.
Well, because again,
it's appointment viewing.
Rory trying to win the Grand Slam. Rory trying to win at Augusta, for the first time ever. Like, there were so many other storylines that went into it that made it that kind of that much more dramatic.
Was this the 18th playoff at Augusta? Is that the number that you guys saw? There were 17 headed into this weekend, I think I saw.
Something like that.
And Justin Rose was involved in the last one in 2017 as well with Sergio Garcia. They were talking about that on the broadcast, just filling Chewy in because I'm sure he missed that part as well. We'll take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Good recap for the Masters and Rory's big win. I know there are a lot of people who are very excited for him to get that monkey off of his back this weekend. We'll talk Green Bay Packers and more as we roll on right after this.
Need a new vehicle? Check out Ewald Automotive Group's spring into a new ride sales event. Over 1,500 new and used vehicles, low price guarantee on new vehicles as well. You can shop their certified best used cars starting at under, get this, $9,995. That ain't a typo. That's just a fact. Financing for everyone, no payments till summer with approved credit. Now is the time to upgrade. With Ewald, it is always friendly people who treat you right with a great selection, low prices. And you know what's a great selection? Because they have 10 locations. It all starts at ewaldauto.com.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so that you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
Whether you're a local who wants to enjoy a night out or you're planning to visit Milwaukee, enjoy an artfully stylish experience at St. Kate the Arts Hotel, conveniently located in the heart of downtown Milwaukee's Theater District. With deluxe accommodations, culinary creativity, on-site art galleries, and nightly live music, you'll enjoy every element of your stay at St. Kate. For a limited time, enjoy exclusive seasonal rates starting at $139. Learn more and book your stay at stkatearts.com.
Let's talk about home turf. Your lawn is a reflection of your pride, hard work, and even competitive spirit. If you want a yard that makes the neighbors stop and stare, you need the right plan. That's where Weedman Lawn Care comes in. Weedman's lawn care program is kid and pet friendly, uses golf course quality fertilizer, and has an effective weed treatment to dominate any issue. Get a free quote of Weedman's winning formula for your yard at weedman.com and get 50% off your first treatment. That's weedman.com. Weedman for the win.
At Progressive, we understand the bond you have with your boat. It's why people name theirs.
I named my boat Sure Don't. Get it? The other day when my friend said, "Hey Larry, you want to head back in? It looks like it might rain." I said, "Sure don't." I guess they didn't get it because they didn't laugh.
Whatever you call your boat, protected by insuring it with Progressive, America's #1 boat insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. #1 rating based on boat market share data from ratefilings.com.
Come on in to Total Wine & More. Prices much lower than a grocery store. Spirits, wine, beer for a whole lot less. Walking down the aisles makes you stop and say, yes. From mixing cocktails to a friendly get-together, Total Wine has everything you need and more. With the lowest prices and best selection for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
What's up, guys? We're back this year with my annual Home Plate charity concert presented by American Family Insurance. We'll be at the Pabst Theater on April 17th with performances from the Goo Goo Dolls and the Nicotine Dolls. Proceeds will benefit Live Like Lou, Visit Milwaukee, and the Brewers Community Foundation. There are sponsorship opportunities and tickets on sale now, so click the link in my bio to check it out, and I'll see you there.
Christian Yelich's Home Plate charity concert, presented by American Family Insurance, April 17th at the Pabst Theater. Get your tickets now at visitmilwaukee.org/Yelich.
At Citizens Bank, community banking is you, growing your business with a partner who gets it. It's you, buying your first home with a lender who makes it easy. It's you, building a future with savings that work just as hard as you. And it's us, working together to strengthen our community. Because at Citizens Bank, community banking means you plus us. Visit us at citizensbankwi.bank. Citizens Bank is member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
How much will Angie let you grow a beard?
I would say for 3 months I have to keep a beard if I lose.
Okay, and Angie would allow you to have a beard for 3 months.
She doesn't run my life. Drop that.
Yeah, how do you?
On 94.5 ESPN.
I let it go, 'cause I wanna see you later when we're not allowed to talk it out. I said I'd go, put myself on the show, but I'm still trying to figure it out. I blow my shoe, take the plan on you, but you didn't know I planned it out. I said I'd go.
Seems like a lot of people out there are pretty happy for Rory McIlroy winning the Masters yesterday. Chef Ed says, so happy for Rory. When he double bogeyed the first hole, I thought, oh no, not another Sunday meltdown. Chewy, why did you have that reaction?
Because I'm America all the time.
So who were you rooting for? Scheffler?
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't mind Sweden. Sweden's okay.
What?
My guy.
Whoa,
my guy.
We can't make an exception right away. Like at least,
I like
America
at least
all the time.
at least name a couple.
I like
of
Ludwig
Americans.
von Ludwig. The only thing, and I have a problem with this. I'm just going to tell you, I have a problem with this.
Okay.
Because I didn't know him really until Gabe picked my guys against the Spaniard, which I lost, which is under protest, by the way. But Gabe's like, is he Sweden, Gabe?
Yeah, he's Swedish. Yes.
So Sweden, I like him, but I fully expected him when he's being interviewed to speak Swedish, not American. He had no accent. He had nothing.
He doesn't have an accent.
He doesn't have an accent, Gabe.
He sounds like he's from Sweden. If you've ever
He
heard
does
Ludwig,
not.
If you've ever heard Ludwig talk, he sounds
No.
like he's from Sweden.
very
Just out of curiosity, does your Spaniard friend have a Spanish accent?
No.
Also, like, he went to college here, Chew. Like, he went to college in the States and played golf.
He does not have an accent, Gabe.
Dear Lord.
I wanted a heavy, thick
Wait, you wanted to sound like the
Swedish
Swedish
accent.
chef?
You want to sound like a character. Yeah.
Yes. There was another guy that. There's another.
Where is that guy from Grown Ups? The lifeguard from Grown Ups. Is he from Sweden? Oh no, he's from Canada. He's got that right. That high pitch.
That is nowhere near the same place.
I just was trying to think of what his accent is in that movie, and I thought that maybe that's what Chewy was expecting to hear.
I find it disappointing. Like Rory, he speaks like he's from Scotland.
He's from Northern Ireland.
Goodness. There's another one. Not real good at geography.
I didn't realize that this was like a mandatory thing for you. If you're from somewhere else, you must sound like you're from somewhere else.
Yeah, if you're going to put that flag next to your name, then you better sound like you're from that country.
I mean,
Gabe. Yes.
This feels like you're grasping for straws for a great Masters that Gabe and I enjoyed, and you're just trying to throw a little damper on it.
Well, I lost. So.
Yeah, that's
also the Spaniard just takes advantage of you. He always
does.
ends up winning and gets the
Yes.
bat. Like, how did
well, that's because the Spaniard plays like the kid from Big Daddy.
I win.
Yeah, the rules change
They
frequently on the
Yes.
weekend to help the Spaniard.
What do you mean you win? I had a hand just like that before. I didn't win.
Because I win.
That's Chewy playing with the Spaniard.
Yes.
Sorry about it, big guy. All right, second hour of the show kicks off in 2 minutes. Stick around.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Delays are growing out there. We do have this accident in the Hale interchange on the ramp from the Rock Freeway into the Hale. It's got delays all the way back to Moreland Road, so be prepared for a long, slow crawl there. We've also got a crash on 94 eastbound right about at 20th Street off on the right shoulder. Delays from 84th Street, pretty standard stuff all the way past 35th. And then we've got westbound 94 slowing from about 25th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. A crash now on the ramp from Keefe to southbound 43, also going to be affecting your ride. We got backups from Silver Spring down to that point. Then we've got delays northbound from about Kilbourne up past Keefe as well. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, partly cloudy skies, breezy, a high of 60. Tonight, mostly cloudy, breezy, a few showers later on, a low of 38. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Becoming a truck driver doesn't have to be complicated. At Schneider, we make it easy to get your commercial driver's license and start your new career. With our CDL apprenticeship training, you'll get paid to become a truck driver in just 5 to 6 weeks and have a Schneider driving job waiting for you when you've completed the program. Plus, during training, Schneider will provide transportation, lodging, and meals at no cost to you. Ready to get your career on the road? Learn more and apply today at SchneiderJobs.com. That's SchneiderJobs.com.
No shortcuts, no compromises, just the job done right. At Exterior Pros, we don't just meet expectations, we crush them. Every nail, every window, every shingle is a step toward your home's next chapter. From the moment we start until that final reveal, we're committed to making your home better than ever. Quality products and craftsmanship you can count on. Go to the pros for your next project. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274.
Hey, this is Gabe Neitzel. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Like Joey Chestnut is getting $1 million to endorse Impossible Foods. Is Nathan's giving him $1 million? I believe I saw the number was $200,000.
If he wins.
The team that eats the most hot dogs in 10 minutes will be declared the winner. It's very important that you all try to eat as many hot dogs as you can. On your mark, get set, eat.
Kevin weighing in saying, Jen, please stop saying glizzy. I can't take it anymore.
Thank you.
Josh hates the word glizzy.
I am not big on
Where
it
did
either.
it even come from?
Come on, the winner gets a big, big prize. No. I can't say. The winner gets regional manager salary for a year and a Sebring and the feeling that they are making a difference in the world.
Can we just take those first two things?
The winner of today gets my job.
You know what that is, Joshy?
I don't.
The throat goat.
R.I.P. Nancy Reagan.
I never knew that
with all
story,
due
which
respect.
you can't tell
With all
on the radio.
With all due respect to the former First Lady.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamara. Here's Jen Latta.
Running her mouth, she wants to ride it, she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like he wanna fight, he ain't doing nothing but running his mouth. Talk about it, we all.
A little over a week away from the NFL draft being in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Man, the more people I talk to, the more excitement I hear building around the state, around the country. Got people popping in from all over the place to go to the draft. I think I told you guys several weeks ago that my daughter's teacher was like, I'm taking off. She's like, taking off work. We're going up to the draft. We're taking it all in. And so there's a lot of people who are super pumped about the event. What will the Green Bay Packers do? Packers Wire put out an article, Zach Cruz, categorizing the Packers' roster needs entering the 2025 NFL draft. And I got to be honest, some of these categories are interesting. Need rookie contributors, need developmental players. Well, apparently that list was longer than I anticipated because I'm still scrolling down to the next one. Need position depth / competition. Of those things, and then they have no clear need. These are positions where they don't have an obvious short or long-term need. Chewy, for clarification's sake, the no clear need list includes safety and running back for your Green Bay Packers, as well as kicker and punter. You agree with that? Is there anything else that should be on that list?
Quarterback.
Okay. You're good with Love and Willis?
Yeah. I thought Willis did excellent last year. Is he a free agent after this year?
He will be a free agent after this year.
Yeah, so then maybe you pick something up in the 5th, 6th round?
Something like that.
Now, I want to be clear on this. I don't love needing rookie contributors anywhere. I don't love that you're relying on somebody who is just setting foot in the league to be a full-time contributor, major contributor. My preference would be to sort of do what Gabe has talked about in the past, which is conveyor belt your way through that thing, to have backfilled at the position so that you have capable but also experienced-ish, from a varying stance, in each position, and then you can spot start rookies as needed.
But
that's my preference.
Yeah, but that's just not the reality of what the NFL is. Like, every team has places where they need rookie contributors. Even the team that won the Super Bowl last year, the Philadelphia Eagles, had a need at cornerback, shotgun approached it, took a couple guys early who were starters for them on a Super Bowl winning team.
And I think it all worked out really well for them. I just don't know that every team is going to have that luxury of having the needing them to play meaningful minutes, and then also nailing the draft picks. I think it's more of a crapshoot.
Correct. But, I mean, every team has a place on their roster where they need rookie contributors.
Isn't that receiver specific, though? Isn't that what they're really talking about? They need to pick a receiver early, and he's got to contribute.
Yes.
If the, I mean, you got no Christian Watson to start off the season. I know you picked up Hardman, but it wasn't a strength last year. So I think that's what they're saying is, yes, you need a receiver, and you need a receiver that can catch 60 balls this year.
And so this article does have wide receiver as need rookie contributor. Again, these are positions where the Packers likely need a rookie to play right away. But you didn't need to be in this position. You could have gone out and gotten a veteran wide receiver, Devontae Adams specifically, so that you weren't relying on a rookie to go out there and make an impact. Look, we all thought that Jaden Reed, when he set foot on the field, had an immediate impact. But it's like anything else, the league adjusts. The league figures out what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, and wants to exploit those weaknesses. And I think we have talked about it on this program. That is some of what contributed to Jaden Reed's struggles last season. And again, was he still really, really good? I think he was. But he obviously had limitations that the league was trying to take advantage of. So again, you didn't have to be in this position with wide receiver as a position of immediate need with a rookie, Gabe. That's my only feedback on, yes, they obviously need somebody now because of the injury to Christian Watson and because the way that the role is where you just obviously need multiple guys on the field at the same time. But you didn't have to rely on a rookie if you had gone a different way in free agency.
Yeah, you could have gotten one of the veterans that were out there, certainly. But they still need, even if they go out and get Devontae Adams, I would have liked a receiver early because I guess I'm not with you. I think Jaden Reed's fine. Chewy, you saw the list. What was he, ranked the 46th best receiver?
45th. Yeah, 45th.
Yeah, that ain't good.
Which puts him at a mid-2. But I think they really like him in the slot. I think they like him more as a Randall Cobb than a Jordy Nelson. I know he's still young. He's got 2 years. But this year will be very, very instrumental in what they're going to do with him in the future.
But to that point, and we have talked about this a lot, Joshy, a lot of the top-tier wide receivers are also slot receivers or have also spent significant time as slot receivers. I know the book on Emeka Ibuka is that he could also play outside, right?
Yeah, those are the best receivers, the ones that you can just move around and are going to be chess pieces.
But I believe most of his time was spent in the slot at Ohio State as well.
Predominantly there. Some of that is just simply based on Ohio State bringing in super athletes at wide receiver all over the field. He is capable, and his testing, despite having a little disappointing of a 40, did prove him to be a guy that should have the athleticism to function outside.
It's just going to be interesting to see. We all assume that Dobbs is going to be the Z. Mm-hmm. Who's going to be X? Can Reed play X? It's kind of a different because you're always away from strength. Most times you're away from strength because the tight end is paired with Z.
Well, that's where I think, again, going back to that list, Joshy, there are only a few guys at the top tier of those receivers who are primarily X receivers with their speed and their ability to go vertical down the field. We've talked about McMillan. The kid from Ohio State. Which one?
Iowa State.
Iowa.
Are you saying? Yeah, Jaden Higgins would be an X.
Yes.
Alec Manor, the kid from Stanford, would also be viewed as an X, and then Trey Harris as well. If you go deeper, Savion Williams, but it's kind of hard to project exactly what that kid's going to be. And then the next one would be Dante Thornton, which would be later, like after pick 100.
So that's what I'm saying, Shu. Like, if you're looking for an X-specific guy, it even shrinks the list even more. A lot of the names that you're seeing at the top of the list, I think they have theoretically that position on the roster. Currently, it would be figuring out how to marry them with what they have. So beyond wide receiver, they've got need developmental players. They've got defensive end and defensive tackle, which I think we all agree. They need players, period, at those positions. And again, my preference would have been to address that in free agency, but since they didn't, here we are, Gabe.
Yeah, but also I don't know what was necessarily even out there in free agency at those positions. There wasn't a ton that I think you could do to realistically upgrade. But I honestly, I would throw defensive end past need developmental players. I think you need a rookie contributor. You need somebody who's going to be able to step in and play some pretty significant snaps.
Which does that happen as rookies, though? I know the kid from the Texans, the rookie, I think he won Rookie of the Year.
Oh, Will Anderson a couple years ago? Again, a lot of those top 10 picks will chew, yes. Obviously, this year that guy is Abdul Carter out of Penn State. But, I mean, even if it's just a rotational player, like they need somebody who's going to step in. I'm not saying they're going to draft somebody in the first 2 rounds going to step in and have 10 sacks.
Well, they
but
need to
whoever
backfill that
player
too, Gabe.
But whoever that is, they need at least to be playing 50% of the snaps at defensive end.
And they need to backfill, not tackle as well as the end, because there might be some changes next year if they have another subpar year. There could be 3 starters that aren't going to be starters the following year.
Chew, I can't imagine they get, even if they have subpar seasons, they're not going to get rid of everyone because they just can't. Because they need bodies, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like just from a sheer like roster numbers standpoint, even if all the guys, Kenny Clark, Lucas Van Ness, Rashawn Gary underperform, you just have to have some of those guys around because you're not going to be able to fill everything this draft.
Any chance the Packers still try to trade for Trey Hendrickson, or is that pretty much off the table now? Because now you're seeing reports that he could be trade bait during the draft.
How old is he?
Is he 30? Is that the trick question here?
That would be, yeah. Can't imagine Goody's going to be giving up a high draft pick to pay somebody who's 30.
What would he take? First and a second?
Probably less than that based on the amount of money he is seeking.
Okay.
Because if you come in and say, I want to be a top 3 paid guy, no team's going to go, okay, first and second round pick 2.
And the money, yeah.
Yeah,
no, I agree.
that's it. Just especially at that age. If he was 24, 5, then
farm.
People are lining up to do that. But
Can I ask you guys a question though about that position specifically? Doesn't it take a few years in the league before you become like a prolific, like game changer at that position?
Depends. Some guys develop, like Hendrickson certainly, but like Chewy pointed out, like Will Anderson's a game wrecker. TJ Watt came in, was pretty good from the jump. Myles Garrett pretty good from the jump. A lot of these guys have been really good pass rushers from day one being in the league.
Even some of those high picks don't fully develop because they are such athletic and that's all they worked on, and that doesn't work in the NFL. Some of those guys take a couple years to fully see what it is, but I think plenty of guys do contribute, and even through the first 2 rounds, you'll see guys that end up just because some people haven't figured out. It's just they're further along in their development process.
I'm just wondering if that's a position where you can say we can make an exception to our quote-unquote age 30 rule because we have seen it takes a little bit longer at that position for guys to really pop. Again, I understand all the things you're saying. There are always going to be guys who right away have success. I just didn't know what the trend was.
Yeah, I mean, Gabe and I talked about Trey Hendrickson being, despite his age being a game that ages well, he's not super bendy. It's a lot of effort and speed to power, which even if he loses a little speed as he ages, he's still going to be pretty effective because he is so good at the position.
What they need to find is a KGB or an Aaron Campman.
But the problem is
later-round picks that you can develop and turn into.
Yeah, I was about to say the problem with those guys, Chew.
Yeah,
it took time to develop.
It's going to take time for them to develop.
Because I think Camp probably had his first double-digit sack season in year 3 or 4.
Yeah.
You know, which I don't know if that makes you feel better about Lucas Van Ness or worse about him because Campman was a 4th-round pick and Van Ness was, top 15. So
yeah, I just don't see a lot of wiggle in him. And I don't know how you get wiggle. You either have wiggle or you don't have wiggle.
Let me throw this out there. Ryan from Aguanago says there's a new
I didn't have wiggle. I'm going to throw that out there right now there, too, in case you guys were wondering.
Get ahead of the lack of wiggle accusations.
I'm still getting over Gabe over here going wiggle, wiggle, wiggle like it's the wobble, wobble, wobble. New report is Packers trade for TJ Watt. So I did a little digging just in the last couple of minutes here. Yeah, he threw up a peace sign
Deuces
while walking off the field on his Instagram story. He has 1 year left on his contract, and some Steelers beat reporters are saying keep an eye on the Watt situation in Pittsburgh. After talking to people, I'd keep an eye on this situation moving forward. It doesn't appear that the picture he posted was just by chance.
Here's the problem with that, Jen.
30 in trade.
How old is TJ Watt?
He's 30.
He's 30 years old. I did not know this was going to be a part of today. I thought this is not like I'm at the carnival and it's like, can you guess the age within 4 years to win the stuffed animal?
I don't have a stuffed animal for you. I'm sorry. I can maybe give you a pen.
If I were to guess, he's doing the things that the thing that the Watt brothers all say they don't do. And that's trying to get more guaranteed money on their contract and extend their life where they are. if I were to guess. If we all remember him famously, I just want to get back to working out, despite him doing a hold-in and not participating.
My hamstring, it's a little tight. I don't know if I can practice today, guys. Oh, some new money just came in? Guess what?
Did you know that $100 million heals hamstrings?
Heals a lot more than that.
Is that all it takes? What would a package even look like for a TJ Watt?
I don't even know enough about his contract.
Yeah.
At 30, it's still a first.
It feels like
it's
a little bit more than
it's not going to happen because, and his brother teased this, might have been on McAfee, that something went awry. Remember the Packers were trying to land, or they assumed they were trying to land JJ? And he said something went down where you don't remember this?
I don't.
You're giving us so many details.
He didn't fill in the blanks. He's just like, it was more of like Green Bay disrespected me before he went to the Cardinals, Arizona.
I'm sure they offered him probably the right amount of money because if we remember his time there, and the other teams overpaid for him. So he felt it was disrespectful, despite him not having much of a career with the Cardinals.
See, Gabe's about to be very, very excited. Like, how did you remember that? Because you're Googling it right now.
I am Googling it right now.
And what's it say?
Some things sometimes don't materialize. Sometimes things don't happen in the way that fairy tales are supposed to happen.
I don't know if I can hit the choose right on this one.
That was with Adam Shine.
Seems a bit vague.
No, I'm right. I know I'm right. I know when I'm right. And I'm right. So you can trust me.
That famous last words.
You know who you can't trust? Somebody who says, you can trust me.
I'm right, I know it. Can't prove it, but I know it.
You know what, though? That is an absolute. If someone says to you, you can trust me.
Nope.
Yeah, that's...
I'm out.
Yeah.
Kiss of death. For whatever relationship that's in. For your next night out, revel in the fusion and artistry and flavor with sushi at St. Kate. They're offering guests an elevated experience where freshness and creativity converge in every bite. St. Kate, the Arts Hotel, now introduces the addition of an exciting new sushi menu to its culinary repertoire. Indulge in the finest seafood, freshest ingredients, and expert craftsmanship for an inspired and delectable dining journey. Experience the art of sushi at St. Kate. Learn more at stkatearts.com. That's stkatearts.com.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Northbound 43 at the Hale interchange on the ramp to go northbound 894. We do still have the right lane blocked with a crash. Delays stretching all the way back to Moreland Road with that. Eastbound 94 right about at 20th Street off on the right shoulder. We've still got that crash that's being worked with. Got a squad on the scene now with that one. Otherwise, delays from just east of 84th Street through the stadium. And the other accident is going to be on the ramp from Keefe to 43 southbound. Right now, delays stretching back all the way to Silver Spring. When business brings you to Milwaukee, make the Knickerbocker on the Lake your home base. Enjoy modern meeting rooms, lakefront views, and refined dining. Visit knickerbockerontheLake.com to book today. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, partly cloudy skies, breezy with a high of 60. Tonight, mostly cloudy, breezy, a few showers later on with a low of 38. Weather's brought to you by Infinity Exteriors, dedicated to saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Mother Nature can be unpredictable. Your roof, siding, and windows shouldn't be. We install peace of mind with transparency and quality guaranteed. Visit infinityexteriors.com. From the WTMJ
Traffic, that when they get a joint replacement, that's not a lifetime treatment option, and they're probably, if they are a younger patient, signing up for multiple surgeries down the road.
As a physician and medical director for QC Kinetics, Dr. Caravelli's seen a pattern of trending joint pain. Prolonged medication, steroids, then surgery, possibly another surgery.
So a lot of our patients are trying to avoid or put off surgery, and this is the treatment that can help them do that.
QC Kinetics extracts your body's healing substances, concentrates them back into your aching joints to help heal and restore those areas, providing lasting relief.
Oh, I love being able to tell my patients, before we do this surgery, let's try another option. Let's see if this is right for you, because now they might not have to have surgery at all.
Call today for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
The sports calendar is heating up, and with ESPN Bet Sportsbook, you can go from checking news to stats to placing bets in a couple of taps. Stream games, bet live, and get exclusive offers when you link your ESPN account. Right now, you can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Evan Cohen here. When you're on a business trip, you know what goes completely off the rails? Your workout routine, especially when you book a hotel that doesn't have a gym. So what ends up happening? You do a few push-ups and sit-ups in your room, run around the block, or you just skip it entirely. Lame. If you just stay at La Quinta by Wyndham, you'll discover there's a fully equipped fitness center at every location. Now you can wake up and power your buys and tries the right way, or de-stress with some cardio. The choice is yours. Tonight, La Quinta, tomorrow you shine. Book direct at lq.com.
Tailgate season, company victory party, don't let your event fall short. V Private Bar Services delivers the winning play with expertise. We're talking custom cocktails, top shelf service, and an atmosphere that'll have your team pumped. Forget the watered down beer and basic mixers. Get the VIP treatment for your corporate events with bartenders who know the perfect pour. V Private Bar Services, where elevated hospitality runs through our veins. Explore vprivatebar.com and leave the mixing to us.
You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
And then you have Raj, who I didn't think he just didn't have the body type of a right tackle.
I have a question.
Yes.
I have a question. Who the hell are you talking about?
What's his name? Yash.
Raj? Like, I was thinking, okay,
Who's Raj? You tell us, buddy.
On 94.5 ESPN.
As a self-described gambling aficionado, this next story really gets my goat.
That's a nice way to describe it for you. Aficionado.
You like that better than degenerate?
I mean, it sounds nicer. Definitely would look better on a resume.
So Joshy, how should I explain this? The
spouse of a now deceased man.
Again, yeah, you've seen where. Yes, exactly. The spouse of a now deceased person got $100,000 worth of future bets on the Celtics to win the East and win the NBA title canceled. This was in Massachusetts. So the gentleman had placed a sizable wagers on the Celtics bets to win the East and also the NBA title, which I got to be honest with you, doesn't sound like that bad of a bet, especially the East. The Celtics to win the East, I don't know what the payout would have been for that exclusively. Maybe she had to have them all voided. She couldn't pick and choose well, I feel pretty confident about the Celtics winning the East, but I'm not so sure about them winning the whole dang thing. Can we just void the whole dang thing?
This is going to be this is a 1 or 0 situation.
So they voided $100,000 worth of futures bets, and I told Joshy, like, I'm crying in my cereal over here because I feel like at least some of those were going to pay out. I don't know what they were going to pay out to, but they were going to pay out something.
But they're 3 down in the East to the Cavs. I might have canceled it as well.
So these bets were for them to win the Eastern Conference Finals. It's not just the regular season seeding.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So, yes, they would have to go through the playoffs to win that. And if you were placing these bets earlier in the year, especially as the Cavs kind of looked to be in, you're getting plus odds on this. So it is more than just your typical minus 110 bet for a lot of these because you have to go through multiple rounds of the playoffs. I don't think, now this might sound crazy, I don't think this woman was particularly interested in gambling after the devastating loss of her partner. Now, it is probably not wise, seeing as you've gone this far, and that team seems to be healthy and likely to get there, but $100,000 when you have to plan a funeral, probably some money you want in your bank account.
Okay, so here's what this is going to...
100K is 100K.
This is going to be how risk-averse are you? Because you have 2 choices here. You find out that your spouse, who, again, you're devastated by their Maybe she wasn't, though. If you're betting $100,000 on the Celtics, maybe she's like, good riddance. Maybe he had a problem. I don't know. The point is, you got two choices. You either let it ride or you cash it out. Gabe, sounds like you're a cash it out guy.
$100,000. That's a lot of money, Jen. It's a lot of money just to be like, yeah, I'm going to let $100K ride. You're smiling. You bet like $10 and $20
but
here
it wasn't
and there.
even her money. What
do you mean it wasn't her money? They were married.
I think the law would say it was hers.
Law says $50,000 of that is hers.
I think we need to understand how their finances were working, honestly. I think we need to know, was he bankrupting the household with his betting? That to me then, pushes me in a different direction.
Here's what I can tell you about that amount that he has is that is not your average gambler. It's not your casual gambler. To be able to put that much money down on the future, a lot of those are limited. And, you wouldn't even be able to do, you have to have special rights and basically conversations with the book to even wager that amount of money, because especially if you're using the apps, they limit those. Sometimes it's $1,000. Some are even less, depending on if that book, for whatever reason, doesn't like you and think you're working angles or using information. So to me, this is probably a professional
gambler.
And this person just wanted to be done with it. If I were to. And also, I don't know the rules on once you pass away, if it's on your app and it's to your name.
Yeah.
How do you?
Well, that clearly passes. That asset becomes the wife's asset.
How do we know she can get into the count? There's a lot of things that you have to work around, because especially in Massachusetts, they are very strict with their gambling regulations.
But like you said, if there's that much money, somebody within the Massachusetts area, FanDuel or whoever it was that refunded these bets, clearly knows this guy.
Yes.
Clearly
why
there
would
had to
they
be
do
some
that,
sort of
though,
personal
Gabe? Why would they let her out of the bet?
Well, because I think they looked at it and go, we may have to pay a significant amount of money to this little lady.
It works for the book.
Yeah.
If it was $100,000 on the Wizards, I don't know if they're letting her out of the bet.
Right. They're oh, sorry. No cash.
I'm cashing. I'd take the 100 and gone. See ya.
Yeah. I'm with you. 100 and gone.
It was actually 106. $106,000 in future bets on the Boston Celtics to win the Eastern Conference Finals and the NBA Finals. Wow. They voted unanimously, by the way, 5-0, in favor of the widow and returned all of the money. Something about requirements for the estate, et cetera, et cetera. It's unclear what odds the husband got on the Celtics' future bets. Currently, the team is -130 to win the East and +215 to win back-to-back championships. But to your point, Joshy, the more success that the Cavs have had in the East, that number has likely moved for the Celtics. God, man, I don't know. I would have let it ride. I know, but
they won the championship last year. They're not as hungry.
So you don't. This is all going to play out within the next few weeks.
Yeah,
so that's what's going to be great about it is.
Oh, but that's the thing. Kristaps kind of, tweaks a knee. Maybe Drew gets a wrist injury, and suddenly things look a lot less great for you.
Do they have to win the Eastern or just make it to the Eastern Conference?
Win the Eastern Conference is, a couple of the bets, and then win the NBA Finals. Win the NBA Finals was some of the other bets that he had.
We'll put it on the Jen, Gabe, and Chewy Twitter poll. So the situation is that the wife or the widow of a deceased man was refunded the $106,000 that her husband had bet on the Boston Celtics to win the Eastern Conference Finals and the NBA Finals. They gave her the entire lot back. I'm saying, if she had bet on, I don't know, give me a team, the Bulls.
Jen, think about $100,000 and what they could do to your house. Some of the upgrades you could make.
We've already made all the upgrades. We're good now. Once I get the windows taken care of, we are made in the shade. Let us know what you think. If you would want the money back, $106,000 back in your bank account, or if you would let it ride on the Boston Celtics to win the East and win the whole dang thing. Gabe?
If you're familiar with tavern-style pizza here in the state of Wisconsin, that thin, crispy crust. Well, now Screamin' Sicilian makes a tavern-style pizza. Stop in and save at Sendik's right now, just $5.99 each. Limited time only, going on through tomorrow at your local Festival Foods. The tavern-style pizza is everything you've come to expect with Screamin' Sicilian. The great sauce, great cheese, mountains of toppings, delicious all the way around, only on that thin, crispy crust. And right now, they're just $5.99 at your local Sendik's through tomorrow. Stop by at Sendik's and try Screamin' Sicilian tavern-style pizza and find out what all this screaming is about.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Things are moving along a little bit slowly. Northbound 4394 coming out of the Plainfield curve all the way up towards Lapham. Southbound 43, we got delays from before Hampton all the way down to Burleigh. Northbound 43 also slowing down around North Avenue up to Keefe. Eastbound 94 slowing from 76th Street all the way to 35th. That earlier accident at about 20th Street is pretty much all cleared out of the way. We're waiting for word about an accident that happened around College Avenue and Howell. This is just south of the airport, so keep your eyes peeled for that area. Might be a little bit difficult to get through. Traffic is brought to you by the Yelich Home Plate Charity Concert. Join Christian at the historic Pabst Theater featuring the Goo Goo Dolls, Nicotine Dolls, and comedian Charlie Barons. VIP tickets and more at visitmilwaukee.org/Yelich. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Partly cloudy skies, breezy, a high of 60. Tonight, mostly cloudy, breezy, a few showers later on with a low of 38. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazagon, 94.5 ESPN.
Junior Achievement of Wisconsin has had business technology from James Imaging Systems for several years. Rory Salzman, Vice President of Enterprise Services, explains why.
We started with the document imaging, and I have to say that the service and support has been fantastic.
James Imaging Systems, a 100% Wisconsin-owned and managed business technology company.
I've never met an organization that is so responsive to make sure that we are up and running all the time for us to be more efficient and allow us to focus more on the work that we do for helping young people.
Lori, what's your recommendation to others that aren't getting that kind of attention from their business technology company?
Please call James Imaging, because they will work with you to make sure that you find a solution that can make you more efficient and productive.
Make the call, 262-781-7700, or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Becoming a truck driver doesn't have to be complicated. At Schneider, we make it easy to get your commercial driver's license and start your new career. With our CDL apprenticeship training, you'll get paid to become a truck driver in just 5 to 6 weeks and have a Schneider driving job waiting for you when you've completed the program. Plus, during training, Schneider will provide transportation, lodging, and meals at no cost to you. Ready to get your career on the road? Learn more and apply today at schneiderjobs.com. That's schneiderjobs.com.
Texting enrolls you in recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text BODY to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text BODY to 321-321. That's BODY to 321-321.
For your next night out, revel in the fusion of artistry and flavor with Sushi at St. Kate, offering guests an elevated experience where freshness and creativity converge in every bite. St. Kate the Arts Hotel introduces an exciting new sushi menu to its culinary repertoire. Indulge in the finest seafood, freshest ingredients, and expert craftsmanship for an inspired and delectable dining journey. Experience the art of sushi at St. Kate and learn more at stkatearts.com.
It's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Unbelievable that they ran all over this vaunted defense, this elite defense.
What Kool-Aid?
Why? It was poop Kool-Aid, and we gobbled it down.
On 94.5 ESPN.
You know how much we love Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin here at ESPN Wisconsin and ESPN Milwaukee. And there's plenty of reason why, with the great people over at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin that are going to make sure they're with you every step of the way. All the different selection that they have and the quality of windows. And right now, you should make Pella your number one pick, because you can take advantage of no-interest financing options or free glass upgrades. Their talented designers and installers can match your unique home through seamless customizations. Again, all those options that they have at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Certain restrictions do apply. The deal ends April 30th, so place your free, that's right, free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Kiss me one last time.
We're putting it on the Jen, Gabe, and Chewy Twitter poll. What would you do, John Quinones? What would you do if you had your husband had bet $106,000 on the Boston Celtics to win the East and win the NBA Finals? You have two choices. You can cash it out, get the money back, which is what the woman ended up doing, or you could let it ride. And again, it'll all play out over the next few weeks. It's exciting. The Bucks have a week off, obviously, because they don't have to be in the play-in tournament, but that's going on this week, and then they will play the Pacers yet again in the NBA playoffs. I want to talk a little bit about what we saw happen this weekend in college football. Fortunately, not a situation that the Badgers find themselves in, but were you watching what happened at Tennessee this weekend? Tennessee has this quarterback, Nico Iamaleava. You got to say it fast.
I love how you closed your eyes.
Because you can read it.
Well,
I can see it.
Well, it's just kind of close your eyes and hope you get it right. Like, here we go. Let's give it a try.
Just pray, just run it out there, and hopefully, and you know me with names, not the best ever. But he was going to sit out. He was sort of doing this thing where he was saying he wasn't going to play for the Tennessee Volunteers. Basically, they were not giving him the NIL money that he requested, and Tennessee did what a lot of programs have not done and said, deuces, peace out. We can find your replacement. Good luck finding a team that will pay you what you're asking. And this, for a lot of people, Chew, is representative of where we are in college football now. The other thing I saw this weekend, and I haven't vetted this out completely, but really, really low numbers at some of the spring games. Like comparatively to last year and the years previous, where you've gotten, tens of thousands of people filling the stands for these spring games, these inter-squad scrimmages. Very low numbers this past weekend for some of the programs. So people are wondering if that is one of those unintended consequences, residuals of the new landscape of college football. But I digress. When you heard what was going on at Tennessee and that Nico, he hadn't been there for practices, he hadn't been around because he was holding out for more money, and they finally said, nope, that's all we were giving you. We're going in another direction. What was your reaction?
It doesn't bother me. That's what it is right now. That's college football, where they're trending. I don't have a problem with them chasing the money. I have more of a problem with the transfer portal. I think they need to clean that up. One transfer, that's it, instead of going year in and year in and year in.
Well, the problem with that is, Chewy, like that just hasn't held up to legal challenges. And this was the next logical step that an athlete was going to take in the professionalization of college athletics. Like, this was the natural progression, right? Now that these kids can get paid, we just had a pretty good year last year. Give me more money. This is year to year. Okay, if you don't, I'll transfer. And that's where the only thing I think they can do here at this point, Chew, is declare, hey, yes, these athletes are indeed employees of the school. And then you can start, okay, now the athletes get a union, and you collectively bargain all this stuff the way they do in the pros. Like, that's the only way, because then it becomes contracts, and then it's not a transfer portal thing where you can just go wherever you want and go to the highest bidder every spring.
Well, and again, guys, it's going to be a fit thing too, Chew, right? It's not just like you can look at the landscape and say, this kid from Tulane got 2 years, $8 million to transfer to Duke. Like, that's all well and good. And Nico may be sitting here going, I'm better than that guy. Sure, maybe, but you also have to find a program that is willing to pay you what you think is worth, what you think you're worth, rather. Just because the market dictates that the top quarterbacks are getting X number of money, Duke is in a different situation than Tennessee is. Duke may be more desperate to pop on the college football scene, may be willing to spend more money for that key position. There's all of these things that come into play, and I actually like that Tennessee said, here's what our offer is, here's what we can afford, here's what we're willing to pay for your play at this position. Take it or leave it. Instead of them being sort of beholden to these athletes, again, I think they should be paid. I love that they're getting their money. Mm-hmm. But there was always going to be a point where a school said, this is our ouch point. You've crossed the ouch point. We're not ouching anymore. Right? I hope that he finds a landing spot. I don't know that, but I don't know that it will be for what he is hoping to receive.
Could he always go back?
Not at this point. Seems like Josh Heupel, their head coach, has said, nope, don't want anything to do with you. See you later, pal.
Would he be a good fit at Wisconsin? See, that's the thing. It's turned into free agency now. You know, hey, 100%. you want to make the playoffs and be a top 12 team. You better spend a little money in free agency, or otherwise it's not going to happen.
A lot of money.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, he'll wind up somewhere else. I guarantee it. Someone's going to pay
Tennessee
him.
now has 2 quarterbacks on its roster and has a commitment from the top-ranked signal caller in 24/7 Sports 2026 recruiting class. Tennessee's an SEC program with a storied history. I don't think they're going to have any trouble recruiting top talent. Do you, Gabe?
No, but it's now, because I think the transfer portal in football opens again here this week or next week. They're going to have to dive into there and hope they can find a quarterback. I mean, their plans now drastically changed. Because with Nico, they would have been a team that you're thinking, okay, they're going to end up in the playoff. Now they got to find a new quarterback that's going to be able to do that for them.
And then look at this year's draft. There's not a lot of great quarterbacks in it. You know,
No.
I saw you even have questions about the kid from Miami that's going to go number 1 overall.
Cam Ward.
So there's, so there's definitely a need in college football for, a quarterback that can play.
Well, and again, most teams wanted to get their quarterback in the last transfer window at the end of the season because you want him there for spring practice. You want him to have those 16 practices to go through the reps and learn the offense, get used to teammates. Instead of now what Tennessee is going to have to do, they've already gone through everything, pick somebody up and hope that they can, get up to speed during camp when it comes around later this summer.
5 years down the road, guys, project this out for me. How is it going to look for Nico Iamaleava? Is he in the NFL? Is he a top quarterback in the draft? 5 years out, what will have happened to him? Or does this sort of thing follow him? Will a team snatch him up? Will he have a top? Will he be a Heisman candidate? What are you projecting the future for Nico Iamaleava given this development right now?
I mean, he'll be. I don't think anybody should hold this against him. We see this all the time in professional sports, and that's what this is. This is professional sports. You get what you can. I mean, we don't hold it against coaches when Lincoln Riley decides to go from Oklahoma to USC in the blink of an eye. Nobody holds that against Lincoln Riley, right? This should not be held against this individual for trying to get whatever they can. I have no problem with it because this is the route that college football has taken themselves in. It's the route that the NCAA has. I don't blame the kid as much as I blame the NCAA for just trying to bury their heads in the sand when this whole thing was initially happening. And they just went, figure this all out for yourselves, guys. We have nothing to do with this. And now you can't put toothpaste back in the tube.
Because they could have done it without going to the NIL route. If they said, all right, players, we're going to give you a percentage of the TV revenue, which is what they should have done from the start. And I don't know how they would disperse the money from there.
Oh, yeah, you had to be proactive. They had to be proactive. And they weren't.
This is the NCAA's fault.
Yeah,
and they don't know how to get out of it.
They weren't even reactive.
They weren't even reactive. Yeah. That's the problem.
I know.
They weren't proactive. They weren't reactive. They just kind of sat on their hands, and that's how we end up in this spot. For Nico, I think that, I don't think he's a Heisman Trophy candidate. Probably a mid to late round pick whenever he hits the NFL draft. I don't think he has significant impact in the NFL, but he'll probably get a chance to play at the next level.
Feels a little ungalale.
Ooh, ee, ooh, ah, ah.
Whatever happened? Is he in the draft this year, or is he done?
I mean, is he in the draft? I mean, technically, I suppose.
Not far from selling you your used cars.
Problem is, he bounced around so much, he's got no place to go back to.
Yeah, I know. He's been everywhere. Enterprises.
Undrafted free agent.
They'll pick you up.
I think that's. I think that's probably what we're looking at, right?
There's indoor football leagues, right?
UFL? Oh, man. I bet he plays in the UFL next spring. He's got
And
UFL
dominates.
written all over him.
It's just he looked so bad the last few times we saw him.
Was it like the last 3 times we've seen him play somewhere?
Where was his last college? Oregon State?
Florida
State.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the last place he went.
Yeah, I watched him play in Ireland. Wasn't any better over there.
Sorry.
That's kind of seems like it might have ruined a nice trip otherwise.
Yeah, exactly. Trip was fine. I didn't let it affect it that much. ESPN's Fantasy Focus Football Podcast is coming to Green Bay on April 23rd. Field Yates, Daniel Dopp, Mike Clay, Liz Loza, and Stefania Bell are doing a live show at the Tundra Trio, and ESPN Wisconsin wants to send you and a friend to Green Bay to see the show happen live. Right now, guys, caller number 3. I assume 3, 4, 5, and 6, something like that, right? No, caller number 3 wins 4 tickets to ESPN's Fantasy Focus Football. I wasn't sure if we wanted to give away 4 tickets or wanted to give 4 away to one person, but the way we're doing it is a 4-pack to one caller. Caller number 3 right now, 800-990-3776. You'll get to see the show up close, meet all the hosts, get complimentary food and drinks, Fantasy Focus Football Podcast merch. That's caller 3 right now, 800-990-3776. Visit ESPNWisconsinContest.com for full details.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN. The best source for every piece of NFL news you need to know.
I think that's right in the range that Emeka Egbuka would be there. I think it's possible that Ted McMillan could be there.
ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter is on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy every Wednesday morning at 7:30. Sponsored by Island Resort and Casino.
We're speculating. It shouldn't be that hard. Like, either you want to play for the Steelers or you don't, right? Like, what are we waiting for?
On 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Look what I found.
What is it?
It's a list of the traditional and modern anniversary gifts for each year of marriage.
Sarah and I use a different list. But go ahead and tell us about yours.
The traditional gift for your first anniversary is paper, but the modern gift is a clock.
Well, our list says the first anniversary is always diamond jewelry.
What's your list called?
The People's Choice.
The traditional gift for your 6th anniversary is iron, but the modern gift is wood.
What a coincidence. For the 6th anniversary, our list says diamonds again. What do you have for the 10th anniversary, Rick?
Traditional is aluminum, modern is diamond jewelry.
Well, there you go. Our lists agree. What have you got for the 7th anniversary?
Copper and a desk set.
Nope. Diamonds again.
I'm beginning to see the wisdom of the People's Choice list.
It's good to have you on board.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
Did you make up that People's Choice list, or is it real?
Well, we're people, aren't we?
Find the Kesslers nearest you at KesslersDiamonds.com.
Quarterback Jordan Love isn't just on the Packers. He's also on the American Family Insurance team. Because like us, he believes in dreaming fearlessly.
Just chase your dreams and don't let nobody hold you back.
And we help protect those dreams with the right coverage so you can
dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
SoFi Personal Loan is here to help you achieve something once thought impossible: overcoming high-interest credit card debt. Walk the tightrope of your finances with one low, fixed-rate monthly payment, no fees required, and as soon as the same-day funding. That's right. Pull off your own debt-defying stunt with a SoFi Personal Loan. Visit SoFi.com/trick to learn more. Loans originated by SoFi Bank, N.A., member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Vivid Seats is your ultimate destination for basketball and hockey this season. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every one-timer and buzzer-beating 3 live and in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Don't miss out. Visit VividSeats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Tailgate season, company victory party, don't let your event fall short. V Private Bar Services delivers the winning play with expertise. We're talking custom cocktails, top shelf service, and an atmosphere that'll have your team pumped. Forget the watered down beer and basic mixers. Get the VIP treatment for your corporate events with bartenders who know the perfect pour. V Private Bar Services, where elevated hospitality runs through our veins. Explore vprivatebar.com and leave the mixing to us.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I'm going to go with the corn dog, the old corn dog. The corn dog for the
pierogies
birthday.
and borscht all day long.
That's just crazy. Nobody likes borscht, let alone on their birthday.
So good. It's the only thing that makes my mouth water, other than my wife.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Guys, I'm telling you, if you're making plans to propose to that special someone in your life, you already know what I'm going to say. You know already where I'm going to send you. It is the Jewelry Center. Best place to shop for diamond engagement rings in Milwaukee for a reason. And the reason? The people, the helpful team that they have, paired with the great selection that they have at the Jewelry Center, Greenfield, Brookfield, or in Burlington. If you don't have an idea of what your special someone is going to want in an engagement ring, go to our Pinterest board. See if there's anything there. Bring those ideas into the Jewelry Center. That helpful team, the Dean, the dancing machine, is put together. Always going to point you in the right direction, whether you're looking for naturally mined diamonds, lab-grown diamonds. Look, the Jewelry Center, they're going to have it. 3 locations, Greenfield, Brookfield, or in Burlington. Shop online, shoptjsteed.com. And when you go to the Jewelry Center, make sure you tell them that Gabe and Chew sent you.
Weak. Boo.
Chewy's booing you because you didn't sing the Jewelry Center.
He's the only one on the show that hasn't sang. Now, Joshy, albeit very short.
Earlier this song.
That's a very good point. He did sing Wiggle, 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 Wiggle. Is that a song? What is that song?
Wobble, wobble,
it's
wobble.
No, I know wobble, but isn't there a wiggle? Oh, someone said on the talk and text line, gotta wiggle it just a little bit. That is a song. Chewy, I know you remember that one from the club back in the day.
Yeah.
Let me see you. Put it on the Jen, Gabe, and Chewy Twitter poll this morning. What percentage of the time is 5 minutes actually 5 minutes when someone says 5 more minutes or I'll be there in 5 minutes? 0 to 25%, 26 to 50%, 51 to 75% or more. So 51% or more. 70% of people are saying it's almost never that they'll be there in 5 minutes, maybe 25% of the time. I can tell you with certainty I've never been. When I say I'm 5 minutes away, that definitely means at least 8. You know, you round down. If the GPS says 8 minutes, you say 5. I'm 5 out, 5 away.
Yeah, but how long were you already late to drop? I'll be there in 5 minutes. Because you're not saying it right at the time, right?
Yeah, like, oh, hey, I'll be there at noon. You're not saying.
So you're already late by probably 10 minutes, right?
Well, is this me we're talking about? Yes, of course.
I think Chewy was talking about the royal we, but, you know.
Generally speaking.
I mean, if we want to go Jen specific.
Our second Infinity Exteriors poll this morning. What would you do if your now deceased spouse had $100,000 on the Celtics to win the Eastern Conference? Let it ride or void the bets and get your money back. This is split 50-50 on the Jen, Gabe, and Chewy Twitter poll. 50% saying let it ride, 50% saying void, get that money back. And we weren't even split on this one. Was I the only one riding it? Joshy, were you with me on the ride?
I want my money back.
Give me my money back.
I'm not interested in
I want
gambling.
my money back. Now, that is a song. Are you familiar with that one, Gabe?
No.
No.
Maybe I sang it wrong again.
Always a possibility.
Wildy and Josh is next.